We all know the feeling, that 3 p.m. brain fog. You've got deadlines breathing down your neck, but your brain is on airplane mode. So you reach for the obvious solution, which is coffee, maybe an energy drink, maybe 2. And sure, you feel alert again, but only for about an hour, and then you crash, and then it repeats. But what if I told you that the best supplement for mental performance might not be caffeine at all? What if I told you that there's a completely different contender, one that's gaining ground among elite athletes and high performers alike that can supercharge your brain and you don't get any jitters? Now I'm talking about creatine, and that's right, your gym rat's favorite white powder might be the next big thing for your brain. So in this video, I'm gonna break down caffeine versus creatine, not in the gym, but in your brain. We're gonna talk about how both of these supplements actually affect mental performance. We're gonna look at energy, focus, memory, mood, and long-term brain health. I'm gonna share how they work, how they feel, the science behind them, and who should be using what and when. Now, caffeine and creatine are both wildly popular supplements, but they come from two totally different worlds. Caffeine is a stimulant. It revs you up, it gives you that spark, the energy hit. It's in your coffee, it's in your energy drinks, and your pre-workout. Now it's fast, it's familiar, and most of us are hooked. Creatine, on the other hand, has lived in the weight room for decades. It's known for building muscle, for boosting physical power, and increasing endurance. But new research says that it might do even more, especially for your brain. What's wild is that these two compounds affect your mental performance in completely different ways. One is a short-term high, the other builds your mental engine over time. And when you understand how they each work, you can start using them intentionally and see real results in your productivity, in your focus, and in your mental stamina. So how does caffeine work in the brain? Let's get one thing straight. Caffeine does not give you energy. It just tricks your brain into thinking that you're not tired. Now that might sound wild, but here's how it works. As your brain does its thing, thinking, focusing, staying awake, it produces a chemical called adenosine. Think of adenosine as your brain's internal fatigue meter. The more it builds up, the heavier your eyelids get. Now, enter caffeine, the molecular imposter. Caffeine looks like adenosine to your brain. So when you chug coffee, caffeine blocks those receptors. But unlike adenosine, it doesn't trigger the I'm tired signal. You feel alert, you feel focused, you feel sharp. Now, it's not because you suddenly have more energy. It's because your brain's exhaustion alarm is on mute. But while caffeine is jamming the signal, adenosine keeps stacking up behind the scenes. And the moment that caffeine wears off, you have a huge crash. And that wave of sleep pressure that you delayed all hits at once. And it gets worse. When you use caffeine daily, your body starts adapting and tolerance builds. So you need more to feel that same effect. And if you stop cold turkey, then you're gonna see headaches, brain fog, irritability, sluggishness, classic withdrawal symptoms. But when used strategically, caffeine is a mental performance weapon. It boosts focus, sharpens reaction time, and it enhances endurance. That's why fighter pilots use it, surgeons use it, founders, students, athletes, anyone pushing their brain into the red uses caffeine. The key is intentional use. So know your dosage, nail your timing, pair it with sleep, hydration, even L-theanine for a smoother ride. Caffeine isn't magic. It's not your energy source. It's your mental mute button. It's a tool. And like any tool, it works best when you know how to use it. Real quick, before we go any deeper, if you're into mental performance, biohacking, and winning the day with smarter strategies, hit the subscribe button. We drop videos every week to help you think sharper, move smarter, and lead stronger. Whether you're in the gym, in the boardroom, or building your next big thing, this is the channel for high performers who want to level up physically, mentally, and professionally. Now I want to talk about how creatine works in the brain. Now, whenever you hear the word creatine, you probably think about gym bros, muscle gains, and a giant tub of powder next to the shaker bottle. But creatine might be one of those underrated brain boosters out there. So let me break it down. Your body naturally makes creatine from amino acids. It's found in every single cell, acting like a backup battery for your energy system. It's so vital that your body devotes a huge chunk of its methylation powder just to make it. If you eat salmon, beef, or other meat, you're already getting some. But here's the kicker. Even healthy adults see mental performance boosts from supplementation. And the effects are even stronger for vegetarians and sleep-deprived folks and older adults. And sure, creatine is known for rebuilding ATP, which is the fuel your cells burn during intense physical effort. And that's why lifters and sprinters swear by it. But the one thing that nobody talks about is that your brain is one of the biggest energy hogs in your body. It weighs just 2% of your total mass, but it guzzles almost 20% of your daily energy. And just like your muscles, your brain depends on creatine to recycle ATP and stay sharp. So when you supplement with creatine, you're not just feeding your muscles, you're fueling your neural engine. And in the real world, that could mean sharper focus and faster thinking, more mental stamina under pressure or sleep loss, quicker bounce back from brain fog or burnout. And unlike caffeine, creatine doesn't hijack neurotransmitters or mask fatigue. It works at the cellular level, and it quietly upgrades your brain's energy infrastructure. And yes, there is science behind it. Research shows that creatine improves short-term memory, processing speed, mood and resilience, reaction time under stress, cognitive performance when sleep deprived, and there's one standout study. Researchers at the University of Sydney gave creatine to vegetarians who tend to have lower baseline levels. And as a result, their intelligence test scores jumped significantly. And here's the best part. It's safe, it's cheap, and it's one of the most studied supplements on the planet. So if you're optimizing for mental performance and not just muscle mass, creatine might be the smartest supplement that you're not using. Now let's talk about the benefits of caffeine versus creatine. So now we know that caffeine and creatine are two of the most powerful tools for peak mental performance, but they couldn't be more different in how they work or what they deliver. So which is right for you? Let's compare them head to head, break them down side by side, benefit by benefit, so you know exactly how each one fuels your mind, focus, and stamina. Let's start with caffeine. Caffeine gives you increased alertness and focus. You drink it and your brain flips on. Caffeine blocks adenosine, the chemical that says, hey, it's time to chill. In just 20 to 30 minutes, you're more awake, more alert, and more dialed in. And that's why it's the go-to for early mornings, exams, and big meetings. It's not energy, it's clarity on demand. It also improves reaction time. So if you need to think fast, caffeine is your edge. So whether you're gaming, driving, or just making rapid fire decisions, caffeine sharpens how you process, react, and respond. Athletes, surgeons, and fighter pilots all use it for a reason. Less lag, and it enhances attention span. So if you ever hit a wall during long, boring tasks, caffeine keeps your mind from drifting. It boosts prefrontal cortex activity, which is the brain's focus command center. So you're not just alert, you're mentally agile. It enhances physical mental synergies as well. Caffeine doesn't just boost your brain, it dials in your body too. It's the bridge between mental sharpness and physical action. That's why it's a staple in both pre-workouts and productivity hacks. Whether you're lifting weights or leading a meeting, you feel more coordinated, more connected, and more powerful. It also lifts your mood. So if you're having an off day, caffeine can definitely help. It doesn't just block fatigue, it elevates mood by increasing dopamine and lowering perceived stress. It's a subtle mental lift that can pull you out of a slump and into momentum. It's not therapy, but it's definitely a boost whenever you need to feel good fast. It also boosts verbal fluency and social energy. So if you've got a presentation or a pitch or a first date, caffeine makes you feel quicker and wittier and more articulate. It also enhances verbal processing and social confidence. So you come across sharper, smoother, and more engaging exactly when it counts. It's also fast, flexible, and accessible. Caffeine comes in coffee, tea, energy drinks, capsules. It comes hot, cold, strong, light. You can tailor your caffeine to your vibe. So if you need a quick hit, then you can sip espresso. And if you want a longer burn, you can do slow release. It's a performance enhancer that fits right into real life with no fancy equipment. Now let's talk about creatine. Creatine can enhance your working memory. So if you need to think clearly under pressure, creatine enhances your brain's ability to hold and juggle information in real time. It helps you think faster, decide quicker, and react more sharply. So whether you're solving problems or multitasking in meetings or navigating chaos, creatine helps your mental gears turn smoothly without overwhelm. It also increases your brain energy availability, ATP production. Your brain runs on ATP, the fuel for every thought, decision, and reaction. Creatine boosts phosphocreatine stores, helping your neurons crank out more ATP. And it's not just about feeling awake, you're literally energizing your brain at the cellular level. More ATP equals more clarity, more stamina, and more mental horsepower. It also improves cognitive function during sleep deprivation. Creatine buffers your brain's energy system when rest is in short supply. Now, studies have shown that it can match caffeine in preserving performance after sleep loss, but without the jitters of the crash. In one study, sleep-deprived athletes performed just as well on motor tasks with creatine as caffeine. In another study, 20 grams of creatine post-sleep deprivation restored brain energy levels completely. And that's 4 4 scoops with no crash and all clarity. And yes, it's been proven safe even for older adults and postmenopausal women. It also reduces mental fatigue. So if you've ever hit a wall after hours of deep work, creatine can help you push through. It sustains brain energy over time so that you stay sharp, focused, and creative, even deep into the coding session or writing sprint or problem-solving grind. It also stabilizes mood and emotional resilience. Now, this one's underrated because creatine supports mood regulation, especially in people with lower baseline levels. It's even been shown to enhance antidepressant effects in clinical trials. And the reason for this is because stable brain energy equals a stable emotional state. That translates into fewer mood dips and more steady focus, mental resilience on autopilot. It also supports long-term brain health and neuroprotection. Creatine's not just a focus booster, it's brain insurance. It protects neurons from energy crashes and oxidative stress, which are 2 major players in cognitive decline. Over time, that means better memory, sharper aging, and stronger brain for the long haul. Creatine acts like a buffer, stabilizing that spike so that you stay focused, calm, and functional. Less mental freeze, more control. It's like a shock absorber for your mind. It also provides synergies with physical and mental output. Now, creatine is a dual threat supplement because it powers your muscles and your mind at the same time. It's perfect for high performance tasks that demand both brain and body. So martial arts, team sports, tactical jobs, or even back-to-back meetings or workouts. So train harder, think clearer, and stay in the zone. It's non-stimulant, no crash, no tolerance. And this is where creatine really shines because there's no buzz and no addiction. Unlike caffeine, creatine works quietly in the background, fueling cells, not faking energy. There's no tolerance buildup, no withdrawal symptoms. Just stable, reliable performance day in and day out. Now I want to talk about the downsides of caffeine versus creatine. Let's be honest, no supplement is perfect. For all the performance benefits caffeine and creatine offer, they each come with trade-offs. Understanding these drawbacks helps you use them wisely and avoid common pitfalls. Let's start with caffeine. Now, caffeine is powerful, but it can come at a cost. So the first one is jitters and anxiety. Too much caffeine equals shaky hands, racing thoughts, and a wired but worried vibe. So if you're prone to anxiety, it can make things worse fast. The second is tolerance. The more often you use it, the less it works. And suddenly that 1 cup turns into 3 and it still doesn't hit the same. Even a 2 p.m. cup can wreck your sleep. With a half-life of 5 to 7 hours, caffeine lingers long after the buzz fades, messing with your REM and your recovery. Then there's dependency and withdrawal. So if you use it daily, your body starts expecting it. So when you miss a dose, you might face headaches, irritability, and feel a little bit slow. The crash. You know this one, that heavy, foggy slump after the high wears off. It's not random, it's your brain catching up on all that suppressed adenosine. Now, creatine. Creatine is safer, but not totally side effect free. First of all, it takes time to work, so don't expect fireworks. Creatine isn't a stimulant. You won't feel it working right away. It builds up quietly over days. It also comes with a little bit of water retention. It takes about 5 to 7 days of consistent use to saturate your brain and muscle stores. This is a long game, not a quick fix. You've also got occasional GI upset. High doses too fast can cause mild stomach discomfort. Now, the simple fix is to split your dose and drink plenty of water. But how do you use these two together? Caffeine and creatine aren't competitors, they are a power combo. They work through totally different mechanisms, and whenever you use them together, they unlock next level brain performance. Think of it like this: caffeine is your gas pedal, creatine is your battery charger. So how do you use them together effectively? Take 5 grams of creatine monohydrate every day with water. No need to cycle, no fancy timing, just stay consistent. Within 5 to 7 days, your brain's energy systems start ramping up. You're gonna notice clearer thinking, better endurance, and faster mental recovery. Then layer in caffeine strategically. Use it when you actually need that extra spark, not as your default part of the day. This helps avoid tolerance buildup and it keeps caffeine effective whenever you need it the most. I would avoid caffeine in the late afternoon or the evening because it can disrupt your sleep. Even if you feel fine, your sleep quality will still suffer behind the scenes. And here's a bonus: on high stress days or whenever you're sleep deprived, creatine may outperform caffeine, because while caffeine temporarily masks your fatigue, creatine actually helps maintain brain performance under stress. Studies show that creatine can preserve memory, reaction time, and mental clarity during sleep deprivation, even outperforming caffeine in some cases. Used right, this combo can give you the best of both worlds: fast, focused energy whenever you need it, and stable brain power that lasts. Caffeine is your quick win. Creatine is your long game. Use them right, and you're not just boosting today's performance, you're building a brain that stays sharp for years to come. If you want to take your mental edge even further, click here to learn why every founder needs to lift weights. I'll see you there. Thanks for watching.